Bigness. Things that are big. What's big in comics? Well, depends if you want to define what big is. I mean, you know, what's big in comics? Sentinels, Galactus, big things, you know, like the Hulk. He's big, isn't he? Ah, big. Okay, no. What's important? What's everyone talking about with comics this week? Well, to be honest, if I'm just starting out, I don't know what to start with. I mean, you know, maybe the Deadpool test footage with the Ryan Reynolds mocap and voice is last week's news. Who knows? Big things this week would be the wrapping up, the finishing of filming, the being done with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. That has finished filming. It's going into post-production. So what do we think so far? What do we think of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? Well, it looks like they're going with the whole Frank Miller look. Batman has the Superman beating up costume. Now, the thing about that is, it comes from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, which came out in 1986, and then DKR 2 came out in 2002. And now they're really big, they're really popular, they're really iconic, they're really, you know, superb comic books. But I find Frank Miller's artwork is really hard to follow. It's really scratchy, you can't read it. Also his writing. Now, I don't know why, it's just me. Maybe I've got something in here that isn't processing it right, but I find Dark Knight Returns really hard to read. So, you know, but I have read it. You know, I've read them. You know, give me that. They did animate it last year. They've both been released on DVD and Blu-ray, I think. But watch them. It makes Frank Miller's story so much more comprehensible. I found it really hard to read Dark Knight Returns. I followed most of it, but watching the DC animated version helped a lot. I definitely recommend watching it if you can. You know, it will probably prepare you for Dawn of Justice. It's going to have a lot going on in it. That's that. Deadpool test footage. That's another one of those things you have to catch if you can, because Fox are pulling it everywhere. It's unlikely that they'll, especially after this much time, the test footage was made in 2011, so production's probably sort of halted on that. But Fox have the rights to that, and before that probably would have been a bad thing, but Days of Future Past was really good, so let's see what they can do with Deadpool. If they're smart, they'll do a Deadpool film, but we all know that these companies aren't. They're not smart. They're not going to make a worthwhile film. Just you see, because Fantastic Four's coming out next, and I suspect they'll mess it up again. They will probably mess it up. It probably won't be watchable. Guardians of the Galaxy came out. I really enjoyed that. It's very different. It's a very different Marvel film. It's a lot of people are saying it's got a lot of nods to Star Wars, but I wouldn't know. I think it has a bit of a Red Dwarf tone to it. You know, it's got the Earth guy is into his old style music and old style pop culture references. So he reminds me of Lister. Guardians of the Galaxy. Everyone's raving about it, and rightly so. I've seen it once, and I think I might see it again. It's very, very good indeed. Dave Bautista is very, very good as Drax Destroyer. Not sure about Zoe Saldana as Gamora. She's okay. She's great. She does the job, but I'm not sure. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. His voice is a lot different than I expected. And Vin Diesel's Groot. Fantastic. Always good. Yeah, I'm probably going to go see it more than once. And stay for the after credits scene. You might have to Google a bit after you've seen it. You go, oh, what have I just seen? What is this? Who? What? And then you sort of Google what was that thing at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's what's big in comics and comic book movies.